Alcia, what's up, beautiful souls? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mamina. You can call me Mina for short, or Divine Star Seed. This is a collective message, so make sure you only take what resonates to and for you. Separate your opinion from your intuition so that you're tapping into the core deep knowledge. We're focusing on spiritual alchemy gifts that are currently activated or activating within you that you need to give some attention to. They need some water. They need some sunlight. Okay, we have two piles for you to choose from. Pile 1, you have the Wheel of Fortune, Organite, and pile 2, you have the Egyptian Scarab. Scarab. I sometimes say the word funny, but you guys know what I mean. It's the Egyptian beetle. You may go by that or the back of the tarot decks that you see here. All of the cards used will be in the description below, so make sure that you check that if you are interested in the decks. I always put the links. If the links aren't there, either the decks aren't on sale right now, y'all get where that goes, etc., etc. So close your eyes, inhale slowly for the count of 3, hold the breath for 3, and then slowly release it for 3. Pause the video, do that as many times as you need to until you feel grounded, you feel secure, and then choose your pile. Okay, pile 1, let's start off with you. We're gonna hop into your tarot, and then we'll do some clarifying along the way here. We're gonna see what gifts of yours need to activate right now. I feel like you already have many gifts that are activated. You may not be aware to all of them. You could be using them unbeknownst to you. Okay, but we're going to clarify it. What spiritual gifts are activated within pile 1 right now that need your attention? Woo! See how fast that flipped out. Wow. Okay, with this magician energy, with this I am the master of my universe, I can create from thin air. I have all the elements within me to do what I gotta do. Okay, so a lot of you here are manifesting without you're not aware of just how quickly you can manifest. And I want you to be mindful, because the thing about the magician energy, okay, anything that you put a strong belief in, you believe it to be your reality, you believe it to be real, you can make real for you. It's not saying that you're going to make it real for everyone else, but you can make that belief system and that mentality so real for you that it can either hinder or advance you. And if the magician isn't in alignment, it's messy. It's very cluttery, sometimes even lazy. Okay, so I want you to be mindful of this. When you are speaking things into existence for yourself, when you're speaking things over yourself, and for those of you who don't know what that means, it's like when a person says, I can never have good things. It's like every time I get something to go my way, something goes wrong. You just spoke that over yourself. And because you believe it and you're feeling the emotions in the moment, you're making it real. Be careful with that. All right, be real careful with that. Be mindful of what you speak over other people. This has been a consistent message for the collective for so long, and some of you are clearly so powerful with how you communicate, whether it's known to you or not, that the things that you speak over other people also has an effect. It's not, you know, when I say that the realities you believe in may not always be real for other people, it's like someone could believe that psychic abilities aren't real. They're not real, they don't matter, blah blah blah. That doesn't mean that those of us with the abilities all of a sudden don't have it. Now the terms, the lingos, and people want to get into where the words come from and etc., that's a debate for another party on another day. We could break it down here on this channel, best believe, but I'm blunt as hell about it. So many might have an issue with it, but the fact of the matter remains, that belief that others aren't gifted doesn't stop them from being gifted. However, your belief of that can actually hinder you from seeing beyond what you currently see. The same can be said about if a person's belief system strongly becomes another's. That's another thing. What do you accept? So if somebody has always told you you're not good at that, they really can't speak that over you unless they just have this power of persuasion, this power, because communication comes with persuasion and the manipulation of energy through sound and words. If it's said to you long enough, you might start believing it. Now, there's a consequence for them doing that, and they're going to have to handle that on their own time. But you have to look in yourself and realize that when someone told you you weren't gifted, that was their problem and not yours. That you are this multidimensional being. You do have these gifts and ability, and in many cases, those same gifts and abilities probably helped you survive or even figure out what to do in situations when everybody else was lost. But understand, if the magician spends too much time being confused, what will naturally happen to them is whenever they try to manifest something, it becomes a mess. It just becomes a mess. It's just, so much going on. It's things spilling everywhere. Think of like a sorcerer with like all of his elixirs on the floor or something like that. Things become really confusing. Some stuff coming quicker than it should. So be very mindful of this power that you have. And I just feel like for many of you, words are your power. Somebody has probably told you before that, nobody cares what you have to say. No, a lot of people care about what you have to say. A lot of people can be influenced by what you say, and that's a strong responsibility in and of itself. Okay? Let's see what nourishment this energy needs. See, look at that. The Two of Swords. You need to be more precise in what you say. You need to be more decisive in what you do instead of indecisive. You need to have a better sense of, this works for me, this works against me, here's what I keep and here's what I release. Because this is somebody ready to cut away what isn't serving. They're ready to unleash, and I feel like this is you unleashing yourself, unleashing that power within you. Because you know, and remember we kept saying words, and look, it's swords, thoughts, words, air. The ability to create flight, because words can be uplifting. Are you uplifting yourself right now? Are you uplifting others around you? Don't neglect yourself just to uplift another. You don't have to stop uplifting people, but make sure that you're feeding yourself, is what I'm hearing here. Feed yourself. You have a strong ability when it comes to your hands as well, and we have the 10 of Pentacles. Some of these gifts, and this isn't going to be shocking for some of you. For others, your spiritual journey might be new to you, and so you may not quite be all aware of what your family is capable of, but for some of you, these gifts go way back in your bloodline. They go way back. So they're seasoned. You might have had someone in your family, and I'll give you an example of this, so that you have like different perspectives, right? Let's say you come from a Christian family, and when things go wrong, they say, oh baby, pray about it. Oh, your auntie or your grandma so-and-so had healing hands. They lay their hands on people. The laying of hands in any term, in any culture, means either you're laying blessings or curse, but your hands have the power to heal. And in prayer, when they put their hands over a certain area, as they pray about it, they're transmuting that energy out. The energy that's bad is coming out, and then the energy that's good goes in. And there are a lot of vines here, which I'm seeing roots grow. In the background here is tree, and I'm seeing roots. So you have a family that's rooted in magic, that's rooted in healing and speaking powerful words. Like when someone in your family or someone close to you encourages people, it has power. But the same can be said for when they discourage people too, which is why you have to be careful what you take in, what you keep and hold near your heart, and what you cut away. Okay? Because again, words and hands, like these two things go hand in hand, funny enough, right? All right, let's get into your clarifiers here. We also have this abundant energy with the rabbit that's here as well. There's a lot of abundance in you, a lot of richness. You have the ability to break a lot of family curses with your gifts, with your natural talents, and they may come in different ways. They're mystical abilities, but they may not always show themselves to you in what you believe to be a mystical way. They might come in quite simple, but they are still mystical indeed. You just need to expand on them. So start with how you communicate with yourself. Start with what you take in when people are telling you things. Receive guidance, but always make sure that you're evaluating if it's good for you or not. Okay? Because that sets a foundation, that sets a root of something. Many of you are breaking generational curses. Oh, we got 2 off the bat. We have the Alchemist. I said what I said. Spirit's like, did you not hear us the first time? And we have power. What did I tell you? Look at this. Before we go to the next card, just look at this. And after getting the Magician, you have a strong power when it comes to words and the laying of hands. What you touch can turn to gold and prosperity for you. And it's a gift that runs in your family. I want you to kind of think of like the Avatar. You know how, and when I say Avatar, I mean Aang. You know how Aang, he had to master all the abilities of the elements. And on top of that, he had to master connecting with each one that he was a descendant of, or that his power was a descendant of, meaning every single avatar that ever been an avatar was connected to Aang. And Aang embodied not only his own personal power, which was wow, but then he also embodied the power of the avatars before him and his people. And then he also had to master all of their elements, including his own airbender element, which made him ultimate alchemist. A person who can transform energy and create something new from it. That is a powerful position to have, right? And remember I said earlier something about like a sorcerer, like if you're not careful, then it just comes out messy and confusing. And we have this sorcerer energy here. There's a desert back here and there's mountains over here. You have the ability to go through the desert, over the mountain, and reach the goal. But you got to put effort into it and belief into it. You need to recognize, so that's your first, if this was homework, I would say your first homework, on top of watching what you say to yourself, is observing your own power. I would recommend working with water and air for you. Woo! And as I say that, the dolphins come out to play. Add joyful energy to what you do. And once again, dolphins are big communicators through sound frequency that travels through the water, how they communicate with the element around them, each other, and the other beings around them. And they can do this at a high frequency. You have a high frequency to heal. I feel like some of you here, you're relearning. You're going to get visions, symbols, and signs of your ancestry. And it's like reconnecting to your roots. Some of you might have grown up with relatives that worked in roots. So they may have done hoodoo or different things. And please don't be one of them people that think that something is all bad because of movies, because you didn't take the time to research and know something. I don't play that around here. But your family could have come from a line of hoodoo or high priestesses or shaman and shamanists. And it might be different than what they currently practice, but even the current practice, when you hear them speak, they say things that are like, do you not realize that that sounds like a spell? Or do you not realize that that sounds like you're blessing or cursing someone? Like, it's the same thing, just different words. You have this ability. They want you to, however, when you activate yours, they want you to be in a state of joy and play. Don't be so serious all the time. Be respectful, but don't be, pretty much like stick up the butt. Is what I'm getting from that. For lack of a better term right now, let's move into your other cards, pile one. Got 2 again. 2 is a powerful number for this group. So balance is very important for this group. We have the breathing rose, heart healing. Make sure my camera's focused for y'all. Heart healing, emotions, connections, time eases. Time eases. So healing, again, is a huge part of your family, and what you feel when you speak certain things matter. I feel like I'm just it's just me reiterating at this point. We have lineage of the rose. Didn't I tell y'all? Your family. We have moved by the goddesses here for this soul call and gather. You're about to tap back in to ancient practices of your family. You might be led to do it in your own way. Okay, be respectful, because you could be led to more than one culture as this happens. Sometimes people grow up thinking that they only got 2 or 3 cultures in their family, and then it end up being like 50. You might be led to different things. Your practice of it may be very different, but they're guiding you. You're still going to have to trust your own inner instinct and knowing to know what to cut away that doesn't serve and what to hold on to. And there's a couple of, I just feel like gook is a lack of a better term right now. Gook is some gook on you right now that you need to purge, that could have come from people speaking bad on you or telling you that you were less than. The stories that you tell yourself and the stories that you believe out of what others tell you becomes your reality. But what did I say? What you make your reality doesn't have to be everybody. So that means the same way that applies to you is the same way it applied to those people that talked bad about you. If someone makes you feel like you have to be serious when you're dealing with spirituality all the time, then they don't really know spirituality, and you need to be mindful. Yes, you must be respectful. I am not going to bullshit you on that. We're going to keep it 100. But you must have a sense of joy, enjoyment, fulfillment. Remember that those are the highest frequencies, like love. Dolphins represent love strongly. So love and how you feel about yourself, your self-love plays a huge portion into this, into these gifts solidifying more, because they want to solidify. You got Mercury energy with communication. Mercury retrograde is supposed to come in this September, so take your time with this, okay? We have Virgo Gemini energy there, the needing to be balanced in practical ways. And then we come over here, we got the Two of Swords, and that brings in air energy, okay, which funny enough brings us back around to like the Gemini vibe and the I'm picking up Aquarius, so like the Gemini Aquarius vibe is important right now, getting balanced but also being futuristic in how you think of things. You're the new. Respect the ancient wisdom, but know that you're the new, right? And then we're back again with Virgo energy and a bit of Cap as well with this getting grounded. Next we have the reunion. Soul recognition, collaboration, partnerships, friendships. What did I tell you about them dolphins? Communication. That's why it's important how you communicate with others. That's why they want you to be playful, because you might have to play nice with others. You might have to interact with some people that you didn't know or think you would ever interact with. Respect their boundaries. Let them respect yours. Be mindful that you're not setting boundaries that stunt your growth. We cleanse off this next deck right here. Let's get right on into, since we're on soul, let's get into the evolution of soul. Father, clarify this message for Pile 1. I pray that this is resonating with you so far. Comment below. What are your takeaways? How do you feel? Someone's lucky number is 7, 17, 717. And we have life path number 7. Someone here's life path number could be 7. For others, take from it what you must. We have the intellectual loner is definitely standing out here. We have intuitive, analytical, a brilliant mind, unique views, won't settle for just anybody. You better not settle for just anybody. Very much fitting the signs and the other energy that I pointed out here. So if you add up your birth year down to a single digit and it comes to a 7, this is your life path number. But it doesn't have to be. The number 7 is resonating for this collective right now, just like the number 2 did, and we had the 2 dolphins come out. And the other numbers that I mentioned, we have failing mission, struggling to find purpose in life. Mission feels impossible to complete, not living to your full potential. So again, when the magician is out of balance, this is what it feels like. This is what it can be. When you're indecisive and confused and you're not allowing yourself to just Intuitively make a choice. Intuitively take a risk. Know that you're going to be all right. Pay attention to what you feel, but don't be afraid to act. You end up in that position where you just feel kind of stuck, like your head is caught up in a shell. Things spiraling out of control. All things in life are a spiral, and you're either spiraling out of control and downward, or you're levitating upward and expanding. But it's your choice. You get to decide how you're going to leave that lineage, how you're going to impact. Then we have mastery. Mastering what you're being called to do, conquering your life's mission, discovering your true self. You have the ability to master your abilities. And that's why they're telling you tap in. So terms, I don't like always using terms because, but clairaudiency, clairvoyancy, these are some things you might have heard that you may resonate with. Your gifts around spoken word, like, it doesn't have to be spell work. Every time we talk, that's spell. That's why we call it spelling. So just remember to be mindful of the intentions you set when you speak something. Okay? And the laying of hands, you might want to work with Reiki. If that doesn't resonate with you, then you might want to take time to do a quick energy charge, rub your hands together, feel the warmth, and start slowly moving your hands apart and allowing yourself to feel how that electric energy flows. Get used to feeling it in your hands, and then try moving it into objects or other things. Start with simple objects. Don't go jumping into spoons and all that other stuff right away. Start with simple things. Start with water. You can actually start with water. Again, I told you, work with a glass of water. Speak affirmations into a cup of water. If you feel led to book a soul session with me, we can cover that a little bit more and cater it to you. But those are just some starter points. Now let's get into how this contributes to your wish fulfillments. We're using V from V Love and Crystals deck here, and again, all the other decks will be mentioned below. I also used Maruk's deck before this one. We have family. Didn't I tell you? This stuff runs in your family. It's not a game out here, and you get to set the tone for the generation that you're bringing in. However that may be. It could be that you have kids, that you're about to have kids, even if you thought you would never have them. It could be that you help others, like you have nieces or nephews or young people that look up to you because of a position you have. Your lineage isn't restricted to blood. This could be soul family and the people that you contribute and conspire to as they come in your life and as you meet them or as you know them already. So don't limit family to just blood. It's a soulful connected thing. Okay? Take it where it resonates for you. Opportunities. Somebody's graduating. Somebody went back to school to graduate or has graduated, and we have abundance. So we have family and opportunity and abundance as you master these abilities. And pile one, that was your message. You happen to choose the Wheel of Fortune, and they told you how to get your fortune. Peace, love, and light. OCO pile 2, you chose this beautiful organite. Let's get on into your messages. We'll be using this tarot deck for you. This is the Threads of Fate tarot, I believe. The other one is Brazilian. I will have it in the description below. We're gonna hop right on into your message. Pile 2. You feel interesting. You feel like a lot of fire, actually. It doesn't have to mean that you're a fire sign, but there could be a need to just burst out and do something, like make things happen, go places, achieve things, conquer. It's like conquer your fears, conquer your doubts, just get moving. So let's see what that's all about. What spiritual gifts are activated in you right now that want your attention? They want you to nourish these gifts. What are they? Oh! Ace of Wands. I call myself cutting the pre-channeling short, and the pre-channel still led to, yeah, you're ready to go. Even if you thought to yourself, I have been feeling the need to do something, but I don't know if I'm really like ready to go. I don't know if I'm really they're like, yes you are, and we want you to do it. We want you to pick up that book and learn. Somebody just said that very clearly. I want you to pick up that book and learn. I want you to tap on in, buy that tarot deck, stop being scared, get to work, create. I keep hearing it. It's like, it's not just that I'm hearing it, I'm seeing it in big letters. Create going down the line. So there's this energy. You might have a lot of fire in the belly. Okay, so be a little mindful of that. Too much fire in the belly can be a bad thing. You want to have a little more direction for it. The thing about fiery energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, once it goes off, it goes all the way off. It doesn't really know how to stop. It can miss a lot of things, and it can also put a lot in areas it doesn't belong into. So I feel like a part of your lesson is learning direction, learning how to take this powerful energy and direct it to a particular source or object. So you might actually need a wand. Just saying. You might actually need to work with tools. That's your specialty right now. Organites and charging them. Maybe you're meant to create organites. This is from Wing and Bell. This one's made by another good friend of mine's. So you could be meant to do things like this. Things that involve, as you create it, you're putting energy into it. You know what I mean? Let's see. Let's get more clarification for pile 2. The moon. Messages come to you in dreams, and it's your job to decipher them. They're not always coming in. For some of you, they come in for like exactly what it is. Like that's exactly what I saw, and that's exactly what happened. For others, when your dreams come in, you gotta like decode them. So don't take them too literal, or too, in other words, like if you dream of going to a place, and I'm gonna give you an example, because I walk in between worlds all the time. So a lot of times I will have dreams that are in 2 places, where it's like, I'm gonna use a location. Let's say one half of it looks like Philly and the other half looks like Chicago, right? It's a metaphor for something. It's a bridge in between those 2 spaces, and your job is to figure out what that bridge is. So I would actually say work with tools and charging them to help you have a bit more direction. You can even charge those tools to work with you when you're dealing with dreams. Find out what stones are perfect for your energy, and then charge some of those stones to work with you in your dreams. You can also find out, specifically which stones are good for dreams. But I feel like you need this to be a little more personalized. So let's say, for example, like I'm a Virgo, right? So let's say you were Virgo and your stone is sapphire. All right, it's one of our main stones. Then you might say, okay, I'm going to take this sapphire and I'm going to charge it to balance me with communicating with my dreams. And then you might, in meditation, place it on your lap, place it on your chest, something like that. Work with it. Meditation is really important for you, and I just feel like they want you to decipher the message that they're sending to you more. Some of you have waking dreams. You're not asleep when you have visions. You might doze off or get distracted. I call it the blank stare. It's when you're sitting somewhere and you just like stare, and you're able to still hear everything going on around you, but clearly your mind is somewhere else. When you're in that state, ask yourself, what's coming to me right now? With protection and divine energy around me, you can make up your own words that resonate for you, but always place protection on yourself, or make sure the intent is there before you ask, and then ask that question and see what answers come in. The answers might come in as words, or they may come in as actions that take place around you in the immediate vicinity. Okay, let's see what else. And we have 10 of Swords. You got to get out your own way, and that's why that energy needs so much direction. Okay, you got to be mindful with how you channel with these energies, because you are able to what's the word I'm looking for here, Spirit? Because the energy sparks so strongly within you, when it doesn't have direction and it's kind of sprouting everywhere, it can sometimes put you in predicaments. I just heard predictions. Interesting. You're one that can break. You have the gift of prophecy, the gift of prediction, but you might not always direct it the right way. You may not always recognize the key things that you're meant to. And then when something doesn't pan out or work out, you feel this like almost as if you thought your gifts portrayed you. They didn't. You're just not listening right. You're just not receiving it correctly. Okay? They're sending you messages and you got to decipher. You got to put that, they're not meant to do all the work for you. You got to do some of it. And anything, I always tell you guys, the 10 of Swords when I channel is that end it. Be done with it. Something that gets in the way of you seeing your visions clearly needs to be cut. And I feel like it's in the form of not only people, but past belief systems. You could be downloading an ability that you don't believe is possible due to another belief system you had. Like if you're new to spirituality, but you want to nitpick what parts of it you agree with. And then your gifts come in and those gifts are from those same parts that you just disagreed with, then you're getting in your own way. You understand what I'm saying? So there are certain things in your life, certain hardships or lessons that they're like, we need you to be open to clearing this out. We're sending you the signs so that you can take action to do so, but we can't do the work for you. I'm also hearing call on us. Call on us, ask us for help. So if you believe in guardian angels, call on your guardian angels. Call on celestial beings. You know, these are, and when I say celestial beings and when I say deities, that's exactly what I mean. If I said aliens, then I would mean aliens. Aliens tend to be living forms, just like you and I. Most of the time, they're just your human cousins from somewhere else. You know, their energy operates different. But when I say a being of divinity like a deity, then I mean a deity. A being that is more expansive and it doesn't necessarily have to have a form and it's already ascended. It's already in the higher realms. Whichever one is resonating for you, when you're in contact with your protection, with your highest good in mind, so you know that you're contacting the right beings, they want you to call on them. So what do you believe is a being of protection for you? Call on that being. Who helps you with knowledge and wisdom? Call on that being. I feel like most of you will find these beings in animal archetypes, actually. The owl, the raven, the falcon, messenger birds. Do not limit them to one type of message. For example, owls don't just bring messages of death. It gets kind of annoying when that's all that people think they do, right? Study these animals, study their body language. You know, owls can give you a full entire, I mean, they can twist their head all the way around. They can give you a complete view of your surroundings. And again, you need to end something in your life. They will help you throw that up. They swallow things whole and they bring up what they don't need anymore. So you might need to like literally just some things that you don't need anymore. I just saw the numbers 919. Funny enough, that's my birthday. Some of you watching this could be a Virgo, or 919 can be a number of divinity for you. And again, ravens. Someone has raven black hair. Raven black hair. Work with ravens. Your natural hair is raven black. It's thick. It's very, even in the sun, it has a very dark sheen. I don't know who that is, but whomever that is, work with ravens. They got me talking faster with your pal. Your pal's very, let's clarify your message. Lord, we have manifest. I'm telling you. I'm here, I got the power. Dun, dun. You do. You actually do. You actually have the power. You just need to give it some direction. You're manifesting things, but you you got to give it some structure here. It's kind of like just a little sporadic for some of you right now. And they want you, again, they're giving you symbols and signs to help you, but you've got to see past, decode. That's what I'm going to call this card for y'all, decoding. Okay, he's coming out fast for y'all. Speak truth. Okay, so understand your divine truths and how they connect to the truth of spiritual beings and existence and all things. I always tell you guys, people have their own individual truth, and sometimes that connects to a major one, but then there's that major cosmic layer of multidimensional truth that channels through all of us at any given moment. Tap into that. Be honest with yourself about these abilities. When you decode, be honest about what you're decoding. Don't try to make the message be what you want it to be. See it for what it is. Okay, break free of any illusion. Again, end anything that gets in the way of you really tapping into your gifts honestly and wholeheartedly. You will not believe the song I just heard with this. And I'm hyped because it's one of my favorite songs of all time. But you will not believe. We have the Creator. The fact that you got the Ace of Wands, the Magician, Speak the Truth. Now you got Creator. As you end what doesn't need to be, you have the ability to form and create what will be. All through you. This is a part of your power, part of your gift. You're meant to channel with tools right now. You're not limited to just that. I just feel like if you are already thinking of doing things like organites or just working with crystals and stuff, do it. Follow your intuition. Do it with respect. Okay, that's very important. I can't stress how important that is. Be mindful that when you take actions to do things, that you're being very direct and calm. Because when you get excited, or when you get like, I just want this to be over with, it's too fast. It's too much. Calm it down. Calm it down. Do this stuff in a calm sense. Do the work, but calmly, celebrate your excitement. Harness the energy in the direction a little more. Focus. I keep hearing them focus. The song I heard when this came out was, here we are, born to be kings, we're the princes of the universe. Some of y'all may resonate with Scotland or like Highlanders or like that show. And if you know the Highlander intro, when that whole like there can only be one, I don't feel like it's saying there can only be one. I'm feeling there's only one you. You don't have to cut the head off of no one else. You don't have to tolerate anyone else's ish or anyone be able to take you out, because you're the only you. What happens in Highlander though when they do that? This magnetic electric energy flows into their body, giving them the power of the person they just slain. So every doubt that you slay, every false belief that you purge from your body, even if it's painful, activates a whole new version of you. And this is whether you be king or queen. Okay? Funny enough, the song is Princes of the Universe by Queen. And there's a version where there's a part of the song where he says, born to be kings, princes of the universe, fighting and free. Like, come on. They just gave you your whole message in one song. Like, just go listen to the song. And listen to the pace of the song. It starts off so epic. Here we are, born to be kings. We're the princes of the universe. Here we belong, fighting for survival. Like, it's just amazing. And then that guitar rips in. I feel like y'all are the guitar riff. That's your energy. That's y'all. And they're just saying that's why you need direction, because you got a lot of energy going all over the place. We have the second bloom, a second chance. It's never too late. New possibilities. I keep hearing that song. Please go listen to that whole song. Just listen to it. We have hidden in plain sight, mysteries, learning and teaching, the moon energy. What did I tell you? Decode, decode, decode. Seek the truth, speak the truth. Okay? Because as you put an end to what doesn't belong, finally, once and for all. No, that did not. Okay, we got to shuffle y'all another one because that one on the floor. I'm not doing no on the floor card, Spirit. Y'all already know. Wow. I'm going to give y'all both of these. Y'all may resonate with the other pile. I'm not going to tell you why. Just if you felt moved to check out pile 1, do so. But we have moved by the goddesses, moon energy. Here for this, soul call and gathering. Now, I was normally doing 3, but I'm going to take this one for y'all. Morning dew, clarity, a fresh start, a positive outlook. These cards was like, let me summarize everything she's saying right now. Let me just give y'all the giraffe of everything. All right, let's get into Soul Evolution by Maruk. All the decks are in the description, their titles and or links for pile 2. Let's get it, let's go. We have meant to be single on a karmic level. Focus will be your purpose, not love. Perfectly content with being single. So I don't feel like that this means that you're going to be single forever. Okay, what it's telling you is right now what I said before. Your energy needs focus and direction. You get too sporadic. You have to like harness it down to a singular thing. All right, and a lot of the karmic lessons coming to an end for you are lessons that taught you that not to be alone, but how to single out certain energies. Focus on yourself so that by the time someone else comes in your life, you can give the proper focus to that. Okay, so right now, if you say, I want a relationship and I can't seem to find it, because Spirit is like, we're trying to help you find you right now. How you going to find somebody else and you don't know who you are? Pause. That's an expanding job, yes, but you at least need a better idea than what you have right now. And if you're single going, I'm just going to be living my single life, Miss Independent forever, Mr. Independent forever, they're like, no, that ain't it either. We're telling you to focus your energy in the right way, not in a spiteful, jaded way. That might have been like too blunt for someone, but that's how you had to hear it. Collaboration. That's why your focus needs to be better, because there are other energies that you're meant to collaborate with, and you're not going to be able to do that if you're all over the place. You'll either force yourself to take lead when you shouldn't, or fall back when you shouldn't. It'll just be a mess. But we have collaborations lead to higher levels. Learn to appreciate others' viewpoint. You'll have a successful collaboration. So you see what I mean when I'm like, they're telling you right now to be single or focus on yourself so that your focus is in the right place when those other collaborative energies come around. Be them a lover, friends, business partner, whatever. Learn to harness your energy. Remember, apply what you see here to the spiritual property that's activated in you right now. Lucky star, shine, boo boo. Here we are, born to be kings, princes of the universe. You could say princesses of the universe, whatever works for you. Born with good luck. Things come naturally and effortlessly. More likely to get lucky in life, but that's when you put an end to what tries to destroy that. That's when you put an end to belief systems that tell you the opposite of that. Now let's see what wishes are manifesting. We're using the Wishes Oracle by V from V Love and Crystals. I'm like, my forehead is on fire. This group is very, woo. We have acceptance. Very important for you to accept where you are right now and accept where you're going, accept your gifts, accept what didn't work out, wasn't meant to work out. What's for you will come back to you. Okay? What you lost ain't really a loss, because you're going to get better. You didn't need it. And we got love. Accept love. I don't need to say anything else. I don't need to clarify that. Y'all know where that goes. And we have sex appeal. Sex appeal is also the root energy, and it's the sacral chakra energy. It's a part of that manifestation energy. Sex is a very powerful manifestation tool, which is why it should not be done all willy-nilly. You have to, again, direct that energy correctly. Don't just let anybody play around with what you got going on in the nethers, okay? Make sure you're dealing with the right energies here when you do your adulting. But I'm also seeing sex appeal as needing to tap into the sensual primal side of yourself. That's why you got all that fire in the belly and probably a lot of fire in the womb space, is you're not expressing the creative aspects of who you are enough. You're not really getting grounded in yourself. Sensuality and enchanting energy can help you with that. And you're very much an enchanter and enchantress, because you're being told to harness your energy into items right now so that you can also learn to harness them better in your body. Balancing this out. Be open to genuine love. You're not meant to be single forever, okay? Some of you are just meant to be single for now. If you're in a relationship, it's not about necessarily maybe having to leave it. That's up to you to decide, but it could be that you might have to sometimes just do some things on your own. And when you are with that person, collaborate, listen to them, hear their point of view. Balance, my loves. Pile 2. that was for you. I pray that it resonated and it brought you clarity. Peace, love, and light, beautiful soul.
Get your copy of Love Confession Cyber Edition. Link in bio.